Namaste everybody. So just joining you from the lovely woods with the sunshine just coming through. Hope you're all well. I just wanted to bring through some feelings of what these conscious choices are that we may or may not be aware of what we're making, and do we truly understand just how powerful our choices are when we gain our own empowerment. So obviously when we're awakening, we start to make different choices, we start to be a bit more ethical, we start to do everything that we've not been told. But right now, we've never seen it so glaringly obvious, but before us. And we are aware right at this moment of lots of choices within maybe even the food chain, what we're eating, how we're getting any of our supplies, and that's without everything else that's going on in the world behind the scenes. So we have to at least question that, surely. So right now, every business is pretty much stopped, other than most of the 1%, and the 1% being the most rich areas that control the economy, and much more beyond that. So all the supermarkets are doing exceptionally well, probably the same amount or if not more than they do every time at Christmas. Amazon, online stores, lots of these businesses are doing amazingly well at the moment. So there is a rise also in local business in terms of maybe veg boxes and things. So those of us are making that choice, that's hugely positive. That's a step forward. Those of us that are choosing to try to grow some of our own veg and learn as we do, that's got to be good on every level, however much their success comes. But second to that would obviously be finding some organic or good local food or veg boxes. So these choices are ours in every moment. And those that are still in panic buying and focusing on most of the supermarkets, which we're all doing to some degree, but we have to just think, what are we doing? Where are our choices? What are we supporting? But more than that, what are we putting into ourselves, and what is the right thing to do now for our health and our well-being? So those are some of the choices, and just being aware of what we're supporting. And the whole thing comes down to that, supply and demand. And that's something we've learned all of ourselves from our early school years. Supply and demand is essentially what makes the world go round. And if we have a demand for something, it will be supplied. And at the moment, there's a huge demand because of being put into our food chain of sugar, alcohol, all of those things that help to keep us sick. And we're wanting some of those things sometimes when we feel maybe not in the right place or not so strong. Our bodies seek maybe the things that we have always called comfort, because we've not maybe made the right choices. So this isn't about judgment of anybody of what we choose to eat or what we don't. This is solely about well-being, choosing for us, and what we are participating in for the supply and demand. It's a bit like looking at all of those that have woken up over the years, myself included, as to what is put into the earth, and looking at Monsanto and all of the killers, the weed killers and things that have been used, and depleting our soil time and time again. And we look at the bigger connection now of, let's not bring in all the characters, but people that support or own that. They also own a lot of the chains that we use for our signatures to try and petition against something. And also the fast food that's opening very soon, the next week or so. Who supports that? Who provides for that? There's lots of money from the same people, the same 1% that go into all of that. And we seek that for whatever reason. Thankfully I've made those choices a long time ago, but not everybody's there, and it's not a judgment. But if we are wanting that demand, the supply will be there. It will keep us choosing those things. It will keep the money going to those places. It's also about, making more choices for services for our well-being, those that we can learn from, those that we can grow, expansion of ourselves, healing, treatments, all of these things. This is a time now for us to focus on our well-being, our strength, and go within. Meditation is the absolute key, because it's our own empowerment, it's our own growth. And when we're meditating, we are going within and finding that inner peace, and it brings our own empowerment and our own ascension. The ascension process is very much determined on the amount of time and space that we spend with ourselves in that quiet moment. Our intuition gets stronger, and also we get to make better choices. Because of our calm, we start to respond rather than react, and we genuinely, our whole being feels a lot calmer. So we don't have the busyness, we don't have that mental energy, because the mental energy will invariably make us feel more fear and stop us from really having any kind of calm or clarity as to what's going on, and to step out of that fear. There's so many amazing souls all delivering different things of wisdom, and okay, many of them are doing things at the moment for free, but always good to give a donation. Anyone that you're exchanging lots of energy with and feeling guidance, however small, a donation is always the right way forward. So enjoy the services that people are offering. Listen to the wisdom, gain some clarity, and feel empowered from it, for you to grow, for you to move forward, and do the work on yourselves. And we all have to do that at some point, whenever we choose it. And the more that you look at your own well-being at the moment, is the more that you hear yourself, is the more that you trust yourself more, and then whoever you are resonating with, because you're doing that, will be of the same kind of energy, the same vibration, and all will be for the highest, greatest good. When you hear yourself more clearly, you know of the way forward. And that's ultimately what this is about, is trusting you, questioning everything. And there's no point when we awaken, when we've been following everything that we think is real and we've been told, and it doesn't necessarily resonate with us, there's no point then going to learn from other people, even though they're awakened, and just following what they say completely. You have to sit with everything, and you have to see what resonates with you, and you have to allow that to sink into your heart space and what you feel, and then you can make the progress from it, because it has to be what you absolutely resonate with and feel, not what other people say and feel. And then unity. Moving forward now, we've got massive awakening, and as we've done this own journey on ourselves, it's been about shedding everything, releasing layers, and a lot of solitude to do that, which has been hard for everybody. And now we're asking to wake up completely, and in this unity, in this oneness, and that requires us to come together. But what, true unity can only be with those that are ready. They're absolutely authentic and not thinking of themselves first. We did that on our own awakening. We had to put ourselves first for our own sanity, our own well-being, to shift ourselves from the mainstream thinking. And now it's about coming together and doing so for the highest, greatest good. And what, if we don't, then there isn't anything there anyway, because the collective energy is what we are creating. There's no point trying to do everything on our own without that fundamental place of compassion, kindness, and unconditional love. Because there's no point trying to do everything in solitude. For what gain? There has to be a collective gain, and the gain is that vibration, that raised vibration, that inner peace, and that collective peace. Namaste, everybody.